Welcome to Airtime Angels, the first female-led podcast in the community by females for females. I am Tash.
I am
Tyler. Louise.
I'm Emily.
Way! Our first ever recording. We are so excited to do this and talk about bits and bobs that we found this week, as well as introductions to ourselves.
Yay!
Yay!
Should we start with introducing?
Yeah, we can do.
I reckon so.
Who's
wants to start?
Who's going?
Here's a microphone. Who wants to start?
I'll go. So I'm Louise. I also run my own separate channel, Louise Adventures, which I have been very behind with uploading at the moment because life has got in the way. My favourite roller coaster is Shambhala because I haven't travelled far. And my favourite UK park is Blackpool Pleasure Beach.
Very nice. Who wants to go next?
I'll go. I'm Emily, and I run a Instagram with my sister, which is under Tats and Coasters. It's very good. It's not. I would say I have a favourite UK ride, and then I have, because I've only been to New Jersey Six Flags, I have one out there. So I would say out there it's probably Nitro, but over here it's now Icon. So, I would say my favourite UK park, it used to be Towers, but I think recently it's just been swayed. I think once you go to Pleasure Beach, it's all over for Merlin,
Yeah.
I think that's mean, but you know what I mean. It's just a different thing, isn't it? It's got character.
Yeah,
it's got a real atmosphere.
It does, and a sense of a community within a community.
Yeah. Everyone there's also really, really friendly as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tash?
I love how I'm saying to being friendly in Blackpool, and I've never been, but my favourite UK coaster would probably be 13, and that goes alongside my favourite UK park, which is Towers. And 13 might be a bit controversial, but I like it because it's theming. It's very spooky and gothic.
True.
13 is underrated.
It is. It's severely underrated. And I have another favourite coaster in the States, which is Manta at SeaWorld Orlando.
You took one of mine. Great minds think alike. So hi, my name's Tyler. So my favourite UK coaster is, it's no surprise, but Galactica. I absolutely love it. My favourite UK park is Alton Towers. And again, abroad, my favourite coaster has to be Mantra. So as you can tell, there's a bit of a theme going on here. I also do a roller coaster Instagram account and then a TikTok account. Everyone's Instagrams, YouTube channels and stuff will be linked in the bio, just a little FYI. So there we go. That's all it was.
That's good. So if we want to talk about what's happened this week, the Thought Park trailer.
Exciting time.
Very exciting.
I'm going to say it now. If the freezer comes back, I'll eat a sock. I
was literally just about to say, what mazes do we want to come back? Because we all know that Emma eats the freezer.
The freezer, and I know Kai's going to say something, but to me, I really want to see Vulcan Peak do something. It's just the shaking of the head. I think it could be so much better than it was.
Yeah, I didn't have the best run, I have to say.
I have a feeling it's Studio 13 that's coming back.
With parts of other mazes. The clipped rolls. Maybe this time they're not making whatever movie. What movie? It was meant to be it's on one of the posters, isn't it? The Something Motel.
Did anyone see the little 13 little pun thing? Not a pun, but on the TV, was it?
Yeah,
it was Channel 13 or something.
Yeah.
And someone pointed out it was the Rangers County Asylum on the wall, which is the old area that it was in, wasn't it, with the mascot?
Yeah.
So is at the asylum. And that guy's hand or
We can
person's
all
hand
hope
kind of grows.
It's the asylum.
I mean, I've never been to Fright Night, so I'm not aware of the mazes. In terms of you guys who have experienced it, what would you each want to see come back? Like, if you had to pick one out of the scare mazes that's ever been at Thorpe.
We all know what she's gonna say.
I
The
need to
freezer?
clarify, I never went in the freezer. Me and Kai just spent a night going through Thorpe Park's YouTube channel and watching every video they
The
had.
trailer is great.
And the trailer came on and we were like, whoa, like we need to look into this. And then we just
So
downloaded all the photos. And I just think if they're doing 20 years, why not bring it back as well? Like,
Yeah.
do something a bit
Yeah.
different, but bring it back, because I know people would probably want to see it because it's like a classic.
Yeah. What about you, Tash?
Well, I didn't go in this one either, but I'd really like to see Experiment 10 because it was probably the most intense maze that Thorpe had. And like we haven't had anything like it. Like I'm sure you used to get split up in that. And in any of the others, unless you got lost, you wouldn't get split up. But one that I've been in there I'd like to see back, which probably everybody does, but the Big Top.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was
Lou?
going to say I never did Big Top, but I'd love to see that come back. Another one I didn't do, Cabin in the Woods. I heard a lot of
that
good
was
stuff about that.
amazing. That was so good.
And
Yeah.
then one that I have done, it would have to be Blair Witch.
Yeah. I love that.
I feel like I would love for them to bring back one of the ones that, like, because obviously, as I said, I've never been, but if I'm going up to Fright Nights, which I think we all are possibly arranging,
Yeah.
I'd possibly want them to bring back one that was really, really good. As I said, I can't really talk much on which one that is, but I want to experience, obviously, one of the older ones, which is going to obviously be one of the older ones, but the best one that they ever did.
That would be
I
the
think when
asylum.
people, I was gonna say, when people think of Fright Nights and scary, I think their main ones now is the asylum, a Big Top, and probably Creek Freak, because we know Creek Freak's coming back.
Yeah, Creek Massacre. Yeah,
I didn't go in Creek
insane,
Freak,
like-
but I heard it was really, really, really good.
Well, we went.
That-
we went
that
a
was
couple of
intense.
times. And it was after doing Towers. Like, I think for us, we said that if Thorpe were gonna start getting their mazes all at the level of Creek Freak, like, wow, we would love to see more of that. But then obviously COVID happened, so
Well, that's the thing. Up charges. Would you pay if they bought back like whatever mazes? Would you pay for all of them, or is there like certain ones that if they bought back, you'd be like, nah, I'm not gonna pay for that one?
we made the mistake last year of we paid for platform 15, and we worked out, me and my sister, we've gone every year now for 11 years.
Yeah.
I've done platform 15 since 2015 it came in, right? And it's been there every single time, and I've done it every single time. And they charged, and it just went backwards, and they added that secret ending. And I wouldn't pay for that again, but I would pay to do Creek Freak again. I think I would pay to do pretty much.
That's worth it.
It is worth it because the level of it, like it's intense. There's a lot going on. A lot of different. It's different each time, I think.
Yeah.
None of my run throughs were the same.
No.
At all.
No, because even at the beginning, if you end up going in the tunnels as opposed to the normal one, it's different regardless.
I mean, I remember watching like kind of POVs of it. I think it was on Jack Silkstone one of the platform.
Yeah.
And I think he might have mentioned in it that it wasn't as good as previous with the whole COVID thing. I mean, don't quote me on that, but I could have sworn that's what he said, along the lines of like it was not as intense. Oh, there's one that I watched, but I can't remember what YouTube channel, but they said it wasn't as intense, basically.
It was up against some really poor competition, so even with it not being at its full potential, it was better than Roots of Evil. It was the best thing there.
It was only 2 mazes last year, wasn't it? And then it was like 4 scare zones.
I'm
and then you had the crows as well, didn't you?
I love scare zones. I think they had so much.
Way forward.
Yeah, I do. That's what I'd love them to bring at Towers.
Yeah, Towers.
I miss the ones at Towers.
Yeah,
because it created an atmosphere, and now you're just kind of walking around like, oh.
Yeah.
You
They
just like
could've
walk
done
past the mazes and you're like,
Well, they could have done a really good one outside of the freak show one
I
last
miss
year.
Freak Show.
That whole area you could have done like a scare
Yeah,
zone.
they could have
Should have
done
done, like,
Toxic
the-
Junkyard and then Freak Show because that used to be down that pathway
Yeah.
anyway.
It was.
It did. I loved
Yeah.
it. That was my
I
favorite
want them to
scare
bring it
zone
back.
ever.
It was good.
yeah.
If we're going to do about bringing back mazes, obviously we've seen towers line up. I think we all have our opinions. I think, could have added another one on that.
They could
As a
have brought back
comeback.
subspecies.
Yeah.
And they
Or,
didn't.
the Project 42, the building's there.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
And if they're not opening Subterra, what are they doing in there? Make it a maze.
because there was that board, wasn't there? And then had like the
Yes.
question
Yeah, I
marks
had
on
question
it.
marks. Yeah.
So something was going on, but who knows? But if you
Maybe-
could bring back like
No
a
clue.
towers maze, what would you bring back?
The sanctuary, just because I've never done
I
it.
was
and
gonna
it's
say,
so
yeah,
like,
same.
I would say the
Sanctuary.
sanctuary.
I was actually watching Scare Track's video of like the top 10 best mazes. And the
Yeah.
Sanctuary was on there and I was like, I would have loved to do that. It
I
just looks
would
so
have.
good.
I'm normally not good with like scare mazes and stuff like that, but I feel like obviously again if we go Fright Nights, I'd experience it there. And if they brought back the sanctuary, I would definitely 100% do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking about going Farmageddon. I can't even hack this stuff. So
Yeah, Farmageddon is meant to be really
I've been
intense.
told it's
Yeah,
really
that's meant
scary.
to be really intense.
yeah, I mean, the scariest thing I've ever been to is Spooky World, which is like for kids in Warrington. And that even terrified me. So God knows what I'm going to be like when I go Farmageddon. But I mean,
Actually, saying that, an all year round scare attraction that is actually quite scary is Passage at Blackpool.
I've
yeah,
heard it. I've not gone in it, but I've heard
No,
it.
but I've
Louise,
heard
your
that it's good.
birthday.
Yes, we will
Yeah.
go through it.
I want to go through it. I've heard that it's good.
I've heard that it's good.
Yeah, part of it absolutely terrifies me. Like every
good.
time. Every time.
Oh god.
So do like scare actors like jump out at you? Did he touch you? Did he do, like what?
So from what I can remember, they don't touch you, but they do chase you a bit. They do get very close.
Yeah.
I won't give too many spoilers, but there are some nice surprises in there, especially Mike Myers.
Oh no, I would love that.
Oh my god, I love that film.
I
So
love
much.
Halloween films. I've heard, or I don't know whether this is true, but is The Exorcist in there?
Yeah,
Well,
Oh,
my
for God's
God.
sake.
If
Quite
they did the
creepy.
spinny head, that would be so
I've
amazing.
heard there's a Saw thing in there.
Oh my God, it's got it
Mm.
all.
Is there like
none is in
right?
there.
Surely there's like the Texas Chainsaw or like Freddy Krueger, Jason.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
I know
sounds
the nun
very
is
good.
in there.
Oh
The
my
nun is
God. I love the
very
Conjuring.
lovely.
Ooh.
And there's it in there as well.
Oh my God, that's
Just a
my
very
favorite movie
small
ever.
reference
to it.
I'm going to that. I don't even care. Even if it's the balloon, I will go.
So yeah, we'll definitely do a run through of it on the Saturday.
No, I'm down for that.
That'd be
I'm
so
For sure.
cool.
I like a good scare thing. It's why I like Halloween a lot. And I think
Yeah.
going back to Thought Parks, having the scare zones, walking around and there's that bit of oh, am I gonna get got? It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It brings back the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Absolutely. Even with stuff like the festival,
That was good.
It was really good having that. I know it was a confined area and they had the entrance and the exit, but you knew going through there that there was going to be something at some point. And they put the brownie stalls in there, which was confusing. So if you're buying a brownie, there's going to be people coming up to you, and it was a really weird experience. But I enjoyed the brownie. So
I loved the twins. They were my favourite.
yes, they were good.
They were so cute.
I didn't think much of Swarm Island.
No, I didn't. They
Was
could
that
have
all
done
the
so
SWAT
much more.
people?
Well, we only saw 2 actors
Oh.
Oh, did you?
the whole night. We
They
went
could have
back
done so much more.
They
They
could
could
have.
have done so much more.
Like on opening day, I was there and it was they had actors throughout the park, on the bridge, even they were holding signs don't go. It was so interactive, literally the whole way to the Swarm.
Is it like the same as like when they were all wearing like those SWAT costumes and
Yeah.
like the fake guns and stuff like that? Is that what it was like at Fright Nights? Were they doing a similar type thing around there then?
Yeah, and they had that weird alien hand.
Yeah. And they would like, I think they were meant to be like half formed of swarm or something, and then there was people saying it like, you know, it's the end of the world. But it just
like they came up to me and was like, what is your identification number? And I was like, I don't know.
I would love to experience the swarm at night.
Oh, the swarm at night. There you go,
It's
night
good.
rides. What's the best night ride you've had?
Stealth front row or Megaphobia.
Wicker Man back row, definitely.
I feel like mine is 13.
That's
That's
amazing.
really
dark.
good.
13
It's
is so
so
good. You
scary in
can't
the
see
dark.
anything
Nope.
at all.
Especially on that drop.
Yeah.
For me, if you look at the light, I got blinded when that happened because I looked at the camera and I was like, all I could see was the light, and I was like, oh my god.
I'd love to experience like Icon at Pleasure Beach, you know, like night
I
riding.
did.
For night riding.
And I was gonna say that was really good. You know, it's like it's amazing. We did it. I think we did it like 4 or 5 times in a row just for the last hour.
It just
And
looks incredible.
we had like
Actually,
it was
big
front
one's
and
good
at
in the
back.
dark.
I want to do the big one in the dark. Like I imagine
It's
that's
amazing.
I could imagine like Blackpool Illuminations. That would be really good. Like,
Yeah.
you know, to see all the lights. You know, like if you walk the big one and then you did it where the Blackpool Illuminations are on, I think that would look really, really cool.
Yeah.
It would,
Yeah.
especially with Pleasure Beach now being open until the 12th of December. It means you can get some winter rides in.
Well, someone's birthday is the 16th of December. So what I'm thinking is another birthday trip.
Another
Yay!
Blackpool birthday.
We're
Another
just going to
Blackpool
do like
birthday.
annual birthday trips for everyone now.
Yep,
Because
they're all
mine's in
going-
November.
everyone's birthday is
Go to
now in
Fright
Blackpool,
Nights.
we've decided.
Yeah.
And we celebrate by going on Wallace and Gromit.
Yes.
I love that.
please.
Don't even.
Why
I
is it
seen
not
a
in
post
order?
today on Twitter that someone had an evac.
Yeah, in the photo of them walking off, it took the photo. Yeah,
On
I
Twitter, I
think
can't
it.
remember who posted it, but I seen it today and I was just
So
like
good.
laughing.
Shall I see if I can find it?
Didn't you have one of those, Lou, at Chessington? Was it on the Gruffalo?
I almost got evac. Almost.
Did you?
Oh yeah, and
I-
you,
it
you
just
got a picture
kind
of his face.
Yeah, it just kind of stopped. So I was just chilling. And
How
I
does
kept
that
like floating
stop?
backwards
In
and forwards past this Gruffalo. I was just like, lovely.
How
I've been
did it
evac off Wallace
stop?
and Gromit though, and the
I
best
was
thing
going to say,
is
has everyone had a weird evac story?
Never.
when you're evac off of Wallace and Gromit, they normally walk you around the whole track so you see the
Oh
whole
my
thing.
God.
So I
Is
was
it all
just
turned
there.
up as well?
I think I
Yeah,
got
everything's
evac
still
off of the
going
Cat
on.
in the Hat, actually.
The cat in the hat, right?
And I was
Big
so upset
Bill.
because it's literally my favorite movie ever. And I was
It's
like,
so
for
good,
fuck's
isn't
sake.
it?
Like,
No,
there's
it's
such
the
a.
thing,
It was
they
when
don't-
the things are running around like that. That's where I got evac.
I hate them. I
And
think they're
were like- were
terrifying.
they are really scary. Like they come really close. You're like, oh my God.
I don't know.
That
if
was
I've been-
great.
Oh no, we've been evac off the Smiler
Have you?
Ooh.
at the end. Yeah, it was like we were all like 4 cars back, and we were like in the
Oh.
station bit, so they had to like get us off one by one.
Okay.
Oh.
Another one that happened recently that technically wasn't an evac, but I think Thorpe handled the whole situation really well, is Colossus went down right at the end of the day, and we must have all been stood in that station like an hour, so it was about half past 7, so the
Wow.
park had shut, and then management came over and we were like, oh, they're going to open the ride, and then they were like, sorry, we're not going to reopen Colossus, but we're going to get security to walk you all over to the Swarm so you get on a coaster.
Wow,
Oh, that's good.
that's always fun. Like
Yeah.
instead
So
of just
that was
having us to
exciting.
leave.
Everyone else just leaving the park and like laughing at about 200 people just walking with security. They probably thought something really dodgy had happened. So instead we were just getting walked to a coaster.
I was talking about this earlier, but has anyone like grayed out on anything? Because I saw this being talked about on Twitter, like people were sharing what they've grayed out on.
Nemesis.
Have you?
Almost, yeah.
Ooh.
I don't really notice it like much in the like in the colder months, like in Scarefest. I know this sounds really weird, but I think like there's a theory, isn't there, that if you're not as hydrated, like in the summer when I went on it, I was like not actually passed out, but seeing like stars. Like my eyes was like all foggy.
That's what happened to me as well. Like it was in the heat, wasn't it, when we went? And I like grayed out on the swarm.
But I don't know whether it's to do with like you're not as hydrated or something. I'm sure that's what someone said, because it's weird. Because like if I go on it at Scarefest, I'm okay.
I think
but then in the heat of the summer, I'm like
all the blood's going to your head, so it's going to go quicker, and you're warmer, so that's probably why.
I blacked out on Time Machine at Adventure Island, so I will never do it again. It is the most monstrous, but it's just a monstrosity. Like no way, never again.
I don't think I've ever blacked out. My sister blacked out on the Incredible Hulk, and I was laughing the whole way around. It was great. That was fabulous. She's in the picture as well. I'm so glad we didn't get it.
Wow.
I don't think like I've properly passed out like ever. It's more just like a feeling, like, you know, when your eyes go all like fuzzy and just weird.
Yeah, and like dotty.
Yeah, and then but then it comes back like quite fast.
Yeah.
I'm not sure whether you could class that as a proper grayed out.
Grayed out for me was like I think it was like a second barely, like, and I was with Kai, and I guess I'd knocked my clip out as I'd done it. So
was this the one you told me about,
Yeah, and I knocked the clip out, but we were still going, and it was like after you go through the billboard on Swarm, it was that area, and I just went limp, and then I came back, and I was like to Kai, like, my clip's come out, and I guess I knocked it.
You telling me this story, and I was like, oh my god, and he was like well confused because you don't know how it happened.
No, I still don't know, but it must have been great. Like now everyone's told me that phrase grayed out. I'm like, it must have been that. It had to be.
Yeah.
What else would it have been?
I've seen like things on Twitter about people like graying out on Rita's launch.
I imagine the launch, with it being so forceful, like I imagine it must happen on stealth as well. Like
I reckon some people must on stealth.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, they're fast. So your brain is not prepared, you're gonna go donk. But
like Rita's launch, I'm still never prepared for. Ever.
No, I don't think you can ever prepare for launches, you know?
No.
Like they get me every time, and I'm just
and
I feel weird. So yeah, we've spoken about that. We could also what Disney park was it? The Genie Plus. What park is it? I've forgotten.
I think it's Magic. I think that might be for all of them.
Is it for all of them?
Because you've got Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, Hollywood Studios. Is that all three?
Is Epcot part of it?
Epcot. I don't think.
No, I don't. Is Epcot part of it?
It's both American resorts apparently. So
you've got the California Adventure and the Orlando.
Yeah. So I don't think a system like that would work over here.
No,
absolutely not. Like everyone's saying, I hadn't experienced Disneyland or wherever it is, so I don't know what the system used to be like. Their fast track system.
It was you get a band when you say, or you can buy one anyway, and there's an app called like My Disney.
Yeah.
And you'd get a certain amount of fast tracks like when you book your stay, and you just book the time that you want, you put your pass on, and then you'd walk straight on.
Wow.
But they've taken that off now, and Genie like tailors your day, tells you like when is the best time you want to ride. Like you can pick like your interests as well as your favorite rides. If you like princesses, or if you like, I don't know, pirates per se, then it will like give you analytics and like work out what the best part is to go.
I mean, I don't know about anyone else, but that would make me so confused.
Me too.
It was the trailer was pretty confusing. I had to watch it a few times. I was like,
systems
Yeah,
out.
I'm gonna miss the free fast tracks. Like
yeah.
I went to Disneyland Paris and it would literally be like these time slots are available now. You literally just press the button on a machine, got given a time, and then you just rock up. And
Yeah.
it was so easy. And now they're charging like ridiculous amounts for the
Yeah.
rides, and I'm like, no way,
I think it's
no
like
way.
15.99 or more for
Yeah,
like Big
Wow.
Thunder Mountain.
Wow. So you have to pay now.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
never
That
used
is
to
so
pay
bad.
for it.
Well, do you remember when was it Thorpe Park was trialing the reserve and ride? Does anyone remember this?
Vaguely.
I'm pretty sure you could like reserve a time and you went through the fast track, and I think they trialed the system. And I'm not sure if I'm making this up, but I'm pretty sure they
Yeah,
did.
because it's a bit like Speedy Pass at Blackpool and the queue times at Legoland. They use the same kind of little digital thing where you book a ride time and then you rock up at that time.
Yeah.
Well, I've just found an old Facebook post that said they were doing a trialing a reserve and ride thing. I can't find anything. I can only find negative reviews, so I guess that's why it never happened.
I mean, I think we all know how that one went down
You
then.
can't find it just on TripAdvisor, but I think it was a case of like you just booked the time slot again and it was free, and I just don't think it worked, especially with like the queues and stuff on a typical Thorpe Park day. It's like
Yeah,
booking a
Yeah.
select time is not going to go down well.
I think it works like well in Disneyland purely because it's so big. There's so much to do, and you've got 4 parks. So it's going to be like, and sometimes like you can get tickets for any day. Like when you have like a package deal, you just have a ticket for every day, so you can just go wherever, whenever. And because there's like so many attractions to do, I think that's why it works so well.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
think-
I'm really excited to get back to a Disney park, but
So,
I'm not going to be
I'm not
spending that
too-
amount of money on a fast track when like the food is expensive enough as it is. Like all the bits and bobs that you'd like buy, like the gift shops and everything like that is so expensive.
yeah,
Disney is one of the best places I've been to, but it is so expensive.
definitely.
I agree completely. But the merch shops are really fun.
I'm a sucker for like I collect pins, so I literally had a look because I meant to be going to Chessington this weekend, and they have made pin badges for each act in Wilderfest.
Oh my
And
god,
a
that's
little
amazing.
part of my brain is going, "You need all of them," and I don't. But I'm like, "Oh, God's sake!"
Have
like,
you
I
guys
need
You don't get
experienced
it
that yet?
now.
I think Lou
No,
has.
you have, Lou. You've experienced the Wilderfest, haven't you?
It's quite good. I like it. And I
What
mean,
about sorry, Lou, go on.
the other day I went, obviously it's been closing at 7, but they were so busy they actually extended till 7:30, which was even better. Because Chesney normally gets a lot of stick for being one of the parks to close the earliest, where actually, compared to other parks, they're doing pretty well this year. So
Yeah. What about you, Tash and Emily? Have you experienced it at all?
I haven't been to Chessington in about 7 years, so no.
I went earlier this year, and I think I'm going this weekend. So I think it's still there.
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's there until
I
the
can give you the
31st
verdict
of
on it.
August.
Is anyone doing Oktoberfest? I want
I
to.
am.
I want to.
I
I think we should.
I think Thorpe Park's obviously the closest. And we were
Yeah.
talking
But
about
Towers
going.
is probably the better one, from what I've heard.
I'm gonna
It's
do
got a bit of
Towers.
Space.
Yeah, because if we're going to Fright Nights, we might go to Scafed. This is not saying that we're not going to go, but we're definitely planning on going to Fright Nights. So if we even it out and go to Oktoberfest and Towers, then that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
probably, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to Towers next month for it. And then like my partner's really obsessed with the water park now after our
Oh my
last
God.
visit.
I love
So he's
it.
like, can we go to the
Hotel
water
was
park?
really good. Like we stayed there not thinking much, but we had a really good time. Like on-site accommodation, like stay at the water park one.
It's
Yeah.
so good, isn't it?
I love the
So
vibe.
nice.
It's and the buffet was great.
Yep, breakfast buffet.
Yeah.
As opposed to like you were telling us, Tyler, that you stayed in the pods,
Yeah.
and they give you a sandwich in the morning,
Yeah.
as opposed to the
That was
buffet.
all it was. I think
Yeah.
on the times of like when COVID isn't around, I think you can go in the is it the Crooked Spoon maybe and get a buffet there. But obviously because of the situation of the coronavirus and stuff, I mean this was back in June, so they still had some restrictions in. You had to go in like pick up a bomb, like a bacon bomb, sausage bomb, and that was it. And I remember sitting like eating it in the thing, but like the bread was like not even toasted. It wasn't best.
Oh my
The big question is, did they let you have a cup of tea as well?
No.
Oh,
know.
Yeah, see, no, that's a deal
violation.
breaker. If I cannot have a
That is a
orange
violation.
juice
tea in the
that
morning,
was it.
Oh,
goodbye.
Good old orange juice.
orange juice and bacon sandwich. What a deal.
I know. I just like pulled out a packet of like chocolate buttons that I had that I bought from the shop and just ate them. I was like, I may as well.
Has anyone stayed in the Thorpe Shark, the infamous Thorpe Shark?
I have not.
Yeah,
No,
Oh,
you can't swing a cat in that room.
What?
You can't swing a cat in that room. There is no room to move or breathe.
Oh my god.
There used
What
to
is
be
it called?
like cabin. No, what are they? What were they? They
Shipping
were like
containers, aren't they?
they were like weird. They look like prison cells. Or do you know them like Japanese pods you
They're
have? And
so
there's like
awful. But
they're
like
just like a door and a bed.
the bathroom is so funny. So like the shower is actually just like in the corner. Then you just kind of have something dangling down, and there's no curtain. And then you have the toilet. But the thing is, the door is a frosted glass door, so it's kind of revealing. So it's just like everyone just like turn away and pretend you're asleep. Like it's so bad. I was like, for Christ's sake. Like,
Because I think they can sleep up to 4 people, isn't it? Like, there's the
yeah, I
people
don't know
bed.
how.
Like,
Yeah, I
It,
don't know
it gets
how.
so warm in
That's
there as well. I was
questionable.
like, I'm dying. Oh, and the giant spiders over the doors. Oh
Huh?
gosh.
Wait, what?
So, yeah, because like of all the lights and because you're by the water, there are these huge ass spiders over
Oh
the door.
no.
I don't
So
do
we were like running in.
Ew.
We were literally like running in and out of our room to try and stop the spider getting in our room.
God.
That's
It
what I
was
was
like
like grabbing at like towers when we stayed in the stargazing pods because there was like in a wooden shed. I
Oh.
was like saying to my partner, "Can you please just check underneath the beds?" And all this. But I remember at night because like at night if you need the toilet, like you have to walk to a separate block, and mine was about 30 seconds away from like the thingo, which isn't bad when you think about it, but in the pitch black when there's hardly any lights on, like there's not even much light there at all, it's so bad because there's like this person, she was like coming back from this little TP thing. So if you know like stargazing pods, they have like a little TP thing where there's a bar in there and stuff, and she was coming back from there and she went flying like this
my
pitch black and she
God.
went flying. And me and Phil was like, what do we do? Do we help her? So we just said to her, like, are you okay? And she got back up and she was like, yeah, I'm fine. And then she walked like about another like yard or so. And then you just seen her go flying.
Oh my God.
That's bad and awful.
oh
It's like, it's
maybe they
pitch
should get more
black.
lights.
Oh my
They do.
God.
They need like you only have the lights from you know where the little pods are themselves. There's like a tiny like light, but you can turn them on and off. So obviously when people go to bed, they turn it off. So there's not a lot of light at all.
I know this is dumb, but are they like got glass ceilings then because it's a stargazing pod?
No, and that's what I was expecting. The only thing they have is
What?
like
I thought you laid a bed.
What's the point?
Don't they have like stars on like the ceiling or the wall though? And it's just like, well, this is just fake. This is not
like
real
a little
stargazing.
coaster thing of like the stars like putting out like all of that in the big 7 coasters. But that's it. Like they have telescopes that you can walk to, but emphasis on you have to walk to them in the
my
pitch
God.
black.
Why
and
was I be walking
from
to a
work.
telescope at 3 in the morning though? Like,
Look at the
This
stars.
is why Splash
Just
Landings is the
trekking.
best accommodation at
Yeah,
Towers.
splash landing.
it is. I love
Yeah.
Splash Landing.
I think they're also like they're probably the best value because they all sleep like 4 people, which
Yeah. I remember going as when I was younger, and like that was my favourite accommodation.
Yeah,
So when I was younger, I
same.
used to stay either in obviously the main Alton Towers Hotel and Splash Landings, because I believe they were the only ones that were around when I was obviously younger. But it was always Splash Landings that we'd always stay in, and it brings back so many memories of it. I love it.
I think it's just really nice. Like we had a really good time. We've even said now, like whenever we go there, we'll just stay on the site because it's just convenient as well. Like you go through the Galactic Gate.
Yeah, straight on the monorail.
Yeah.
Literally, like 2-minute walk.
It's lovely.
Not even
it's
that.
Lovely.
Yeah, and in like, you can go in the evening and go roller coaster restaurant, which we did, and it was really fun. I think it's a really fun experience.
I wanted to go like when you went Emily in the Dark, just because I wanted to see like Galactica lit up, to be honest. But like they were all fully booked up.
Looking up so quick.
I couldn't believe how full they all were. Like I think from even now right up until maybe the end of the season, I think it's just full. Like we went in there at dinner time at like 11 o'clock, so I was like literally stood there at 11 o'clock, and then I don't think they even opened until 12, but like I did not want to miss out on it, so I was like waiting there for ages, but it was so fun. Like I loved it.
Fun. Did you see the show that they do with like the trailers and the
I heard about that, but I didn't like experience it, unfortunately.
Oh, we did. It was really fun. I think it's a really nice idea because it was like all the original. Was it the trailers or something? And then it had projected on the walls, and it's really fun.
I think it's on like the back right. Where you on the back right.
Yeah.
There's a massive projector.
Yeah, and it like all the lights go down, and like it's all like in sync with each other, and it's just a really fun time.
Have you seen all like the posters and like the concept arts and stuff like
that?
Yeah,
I love that.
Because don't they
I was like a proper nerd, like pure looking at it all.
I like the wallpaper in the toilets.
It's so good.
All about detail.
It's close to asking them where they got it from.
No, it's really fun. I think I would like to see more like that, because I'm just trying to think like what's Chessington got. I know you can go to the hotel and there's the restaurant that overlooks some of the animals, isn't there? Like that's probably the most interesting.
That is the best restaurant I've ever been to at a theme park.
Really?
It's so good. Their food is amazing.
I love the smokehouse because of who I am as a person. I think more Merlin Park should get the smokehouse, and I'll go.
Smokehouse is amazing.
Honestly, barbecue food. I love barbecue food.
Yeah.
Put it in.
It's so good.
I think Thorpe Park could benefit, but it just seems like Thorpe Park rotate their food things. Like we were talking about this. Where is it? The Wilderness Bar now?
I love that.
It used to be that halloumi place. And now
it used to be that I'm a Celebrity ostrich burger place as well.
And then it was like a barbecue place.
Yes. And now it's a bar, apparently.
Yeah, you've got like the Hunter's Arms. So like one half is like basically a pub. And then the other half is the Wilderness, which is where you get the food.
They may as well just like slap a Weatherspoons on there and call it that.
I mean, it's the Infinity Bar, which is all right. We actually ordered from there, and the food's pretty nice. Infinity. If you were going to eat at Thorpe, I'd recommend that one.
Yeah,
I remember when it was Finn's Bar and Grill, and the food was nice then.
Oh, so maybe it's just a rebrand, because I do notice they rebrand. But then Chessington, was it a Chipotle they got? No, a tortilla. That was it.
Tortilla. But apparently, that is really good.
Tortilla is amazing.
Yeah.
There's one in Kingston actually in the Bental Centre. You should go and try it. It's so good.
I feel like I'm one of these people that, like, when you go to a theme park, I just grab the quickest thing. But then I know there's some people that go and actually sit down in restaurants on their visits. I honestly wish I was one of those people, but like I get so stressy about getting on everything.
That's the thing. When I was younger, I used to go with my cousin to theme parks, and she would always take me. And the rule was, you get food to eat in the queue. We just keep moving. I remember being in the queue for the asylum, and I was like, when was that? It was like 11 years ago. So I was 13, and we were just in the queue for the asylum. I'm like shitting bricks, and she's just like, quick, we have to eat in the queue. And I was like, oh my God. Like, so if I don't have to stop, I won't stop. I will just keep going because it's drilled into my system. Make the most out of your day.
Yeah,
So.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
like.
Although we did make a great group decision the last time I was in Blackpool, and we all went to the pizza pasta buffet, and that was the best decision we ever made because we still managed to get on everything. Plus we were there for the 2 days, so it takes away a little bit of the blow if you want to stop.
Yeah.
But that pizza pasta buffet is so much better than Merlin's. It's so good. It's
We
so
went to
good.
Legoland
I love
once,
it.
and they've gotten rid of garlic bread and replaced them with dough balls, which
Oh.
I think they should keep. I'm a big fan of the garlic dough balls.
Oh, I love garlic dough
love
Oh
balls.
no, you
dough balls.
can't
my
beat
God.
garlic bread. Come on.
The Legoland dough balls have a special place in my heart, honestly.
I'm in the
big-
I
comments which
remember
one
when
do you prefer?
Legoland did the free ice cream as well.
Oh no, the queue for the ice cream is always ridiculous now. The one by the Lego Friends area, that ice cream place has always got like a 20-minute queue or something. There's
But
something
it is
with
the best ice cream I've ever had.
I've
It
heard
is so good. It's
I've heard it's
amazing.
good.
Oh,
Like,
Heard of that.
Jesus.
I don't think I've ever had like a certain type of food at a theme park that like I would say I would get every single time. You know, like the best thing ever. I just tend to go for like donuts, and that's all I ever try. But
Yeah,
then,
like
have you
thought
guys
donuts.
seen? Yeah, have you guys seen the like chocolate covered strawberries and all that at
Yeah.
Towers? And the
Yeah,
Oh,
they
I love
good.
that.
Like the apples.
and
And
like
the marshmallows.
yeah, and then in front of Wickerman there's like a little
Yeah.
kind of waffles, and they do like these really insane like cookies and cream ones.
Well, did you
So
have any of the food at Mardi Gras?
I did. So I had the Greek, I think it was, but I
Me too.
only had like the Perry salted chips. They were quite bland. And then I asked for like tomato sauce, and they said we don't have sauce, we just have like sweet chili. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll have that. And then I had the King's cakes and donuts, I think it was.
That was the one I was
they
talking
were
about. They looked really good.
Yeah, the only thing is inside they had no filling.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which I feel like
Brilliant.
made it a bit bland.
I want to try the Legoland donuts in Mythica. Like, that is my life
Oh,
goal.
They look so good.
Yeah,
They
they
look
look amazing.
I'm a big fan of Mythica.
Same here.
Just love it.
I love it.
That's all there is to that. I just think it's really neat. So obviously with this being a female-led podcast, like I think we all have different opinions on what it's like being a female in the community, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, I think we can all agree that we've all had our fair share of weird experiences. Obviously, this isn't like we don't want to like shit all over people. It's a case of just saying, you know, like we are people. We just want
people to see from our perspective what we
Yeah.
have to deal with at times. It's not necessarily
We're here
that
to
it's
ride
everyone.
coasters and
Yeah,
make
we're all here for the
friends,
same
not
thing.
have creepy
Yeah.
comments.
Yeah. I feel like
Also,
go on, Lou.
women and restraint,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was about to
What is
say.
the worst restraint you've had? I'll go
Fall
first.
backwards.
Mission. Horrible. Absolutely horrible.
For me, I wouldn't say it's the worst, but I do find it uncomfortable, especially if you stop on the brake run and you're like standing there for like a good minute or so. But Galactica can sometimes hurt your tits.
Yeah. Yeah.
The swarm at the end when it's all pushed in. And
Yeah.
I
you're
could
Oh,
imagine the
God.
swarm would
Yeah.
be.
Swarm
When that
backwards
vest
was
restraint gets
awful.
Yeah.
like tighter, it is painful.
Those vest restraints look very uncomfortable.
Did
Yeah.
any of you ever experience the slammer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It was dug in the top, like right in the top. It squished them down. So you have
Yeah,
these
and it was
tiny
like,
little
where are you going?
weird
Like,
mini bars that literally go to here, and you're like holding them up here. It's so uncomfortable.
it's just certain things, they just hurt. Like, I'm trying to
Yeah.
think of anything else I've had a really
If-
terrible
if-
experience with.
If you get stapled on rush, that bloody hurts your hips. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was in pain because someone decided to staple me, and I was like, I can't feel my
Same
hip.
with things like Cobra at Chessington. Have you ever accidentally breathed in
Yes.
too much and then
Yeah.
they
Or
wrap
like
you in?
the edge at Portons, like stuff like that is
Yeah.
oh, no
The
thanks.
Lego Friends pony riding experience at Legoland has the same thing.
Oh,
Maybe
Yeah,
it's just
I'm
the
not a fan of those.
discos.
They push your chest in and then you're clamped in and it's like
yeah.
I
It's
know
when
there's a
you
lot of
accidentally
talk.
breathe in.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of talk at the minute about like certain people being not even like ridiculously overweight, but slightly overweight. And I think it was on Wicker Man, maybe someone mentioned it.
we've
So
had
what's
a
your
friend
opinions?
and she's very open about talking about it, if anything, because we've
Yeah.
spoken to customer services. We think it would be beneficial for rides where they say there is a restriction, put a test seat.
Yeah.
Instead
Yeah.
of having things like Rita or Nemesis having, I don't know if Nemesis has a test seat. Doesn't, does it? Did I just make that
I think
up?
it might do.
I think it does have the
Inferno does. But like things like that, we know like most of the time, that's fine. But when it's a restriction on just your legs and like your
Yeah.
thighs, we need to know, because the thing is, I've had people I know that can go on it one time and in the same day they'll say no.
Yeah.
It's weird.
What's the difference? Like, we need to know. And like 13 has the same restrictions as Wicker Man, and I have a friend that can go on 13 no issues, but Wicker Man's always a problem and they're not particularly nice about it. I don't know if you've seen it.
It's like they have to let everybody know. It's like they may as well get like a megaphone and be like, yeah, go on, like shout it around the station. It's horrible.
I don't know about you, but when people do that, it just like, luckily I've never had to experience it, but if that was me, I would just, my confidence would just plummet.
Yeah.
I'd feel absolutely rubbish.
Yeah. I completely agree.
I just think there needs to be more like, if it is restrictive, put something to test so this doesn't have to happen, because it's always the ones without test seats where it happens. Like Spinball has restrictions. I've never seen a Spinball test seat. Wicker Man 13.
Yeah, I've never seen any of them.
Yeah.
No, actually.
I haven't.
I think on the park there's only Oblivion, Galactica, Rita, and
Nemesis. I don't think Smiler has one either.
No,
Smiler
doesn't have one.
So that's like 4 out of like 3 others.
Oh.
So I mean, when you think about like how many coasters are out on towers, like the big ones, the big 7, that's like 4 out of obviously 7. So really, when you think about it, it's they should have more, really.
I think it's definitely a thing that could ruin someone's like confidence. Like I would definitely, like if that happened, I would be devastated. And I just think it needs to be more of a thing, like it saves a lot of time. Or if you are worried, go and like, inform people better. Like that's the problem. If you can get on it once in the same day, what changed? Like is it the staff? Not like, I don't know how it works. Obviously, I've not worked at park, so I don't know how it worked with like the clicks. I don't know that. So
no, it's just, I think like there's ways, even if someone can't fit on it and can't ride it for whatever reason, like the restrictions, there's nicer ways you can go about telling them. Do you know what I mean? Like
instead of announcing it to the whole station, just say it quietly.
Like some people as well have like probably like social anxiety, for example, or might have some hidden eating disorder or something like that, and then they announce it. You're like, you don't know what effect that could have on their mental health as well. And I definitely think more awareness needs to be brought to that side of it.
100%. And it can happen, obviously that can happen to anyone, but it's just a case of how it's dealt with, I think. And I just think there needs to be, like you said, awareness and just a case of put a tester seat. Like they must have one.
It's
they
not
must
difficult.
have one. Like where is it? Just
I know.
Just whack it on.
Or maybe even like just like with awareness, like staff, like, because I know that on Wicker Man they'll tell you to cross your legs. If you cross your ankles, apparently it makes it easier.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, apparently if you cross your legs, if you're struggling with your thighs, if you cross the bottoms of like your ankles, apparently it makes it easier. But I don't know if that works.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
I
No,
think.
no,
And there's me next time crossing my ankles like this.
no.
Nice. Like, yeah, I think restraints is obviously like a big issue. But again, that's, talking about it just being uncomfortable, but it's not like, anything we can change. We
No,
do
it's
it.
like,
No.
Yeah.
Now, I feel if it's going to be a rough day, pad up.
Yeah.
But have you
I
heard
think
the thing on Twitter tonight about the Grand National? Have you heard about
Yes, I have.
it? Apparently, you're not allowed to sit at the back anymore.
Yeah. Did anyone see that thing about what the woman put or something? There's a woman.
Yes, and there was a
Yes.
sign out that said
Yeah.
she is rough.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
she's
she
like
was
coming
like,
off it and
she's
complaining
got
that,
a
like,
neck brace
Yeah.
on and everything now.
but it's like
Oh
there's
my
I was
there's
like,
clear signage, do you know?
The sign
Yeah.
says, "Do not go on if you have neck or back complaints, because it is a rough ride."
I got winded a little bit, but it was fun,
Luckily, oh wait, no, I have done back row, and I thought I was going to die, but
Oh, okay, that's good. Yeah,
but normally, if you don't sit on a wheel seat, you're fine.
You're fine, yeah.
and I also think if you don't know if you know anything about the park, I before going there knew about it and was prepared for it. Like,
Yeah.
you hear rumors, it's not like people mention it and joke about it because supposedly it is rough. It's like all the jokes about Colossus being rough. You just hear
Yeah.
it, like,
Yeah.
this is a rough ride. Ha ha ha. No, it's not. It's lovely.
Literally.
It's what it is.
I feel like I just like really appreciate Blackpool's like classic wooden coasters, you know? I just love them,
Yeah,
like
it's very
Big Dipper.
nostalgic.
Yeah.
This is the thing. Before I'd gone there, I'd only done El Toro in Great Adventure and Wicker Man. So I was
Yeah.
like, and honestly, I think it's so fun. Yeah, it's rough and you feel like you've been beaten up afterwards, but you're like, that was really nice.
Yeah.
You're
Like
like,
a little
again.
I love Big Dipper so much.
I
Like,
do.
So fun.
That's my favourite Woody there.
I
Like,
cannot wait
by
to
a
go.
mile.
Oh, you're
I'm
gonna love it,
excited to hear what
Tash.
you have to say about it, Tash. Like,
Hmm?
it's also my sister's first time going as well. So
Oh.
now that I've gone, I like to see what other people are like. I'm like, go
You
on.
can put us
Oh,
next to
and
each other on Grand
Ashley,
National on a wheel
who's
seat.
staying with us, my friend Ashley, she's never been before either.
Fun.
Oh,
Oh,
actually
that's
not.
nice.
So
Oh,
it's
so
going
it's
to
a
be really
first for
nice.
everyone, kind of.
Yeah, like half the group.
I love
I'm gonna
seeing like
say it
people
now,
experience
one
their
of-
first coasters.
I'm going to say one of my favourite things in Blackpool is Revolution. I think it's fantastic.
I love Revolution.
I can't.
think
I've
it's
never
mad.
been on one
fun.
like that does like that goes back on itself. Oh no, actually, I went on Ben 10. It's not Ben 10 anymore, but it didn't loop. So
I'm sorry, but it is one of the most intense rides in the UK. No one
It
can
is.
change my mind. It's mad.
Well, I was in the Straits and I was like, well, these are a bit loose, aren't they? And then when we went down the fucking launch, I slipped like in the seat and I was like,
oh
oh,
my god.
so
My
funny.
feet
though.
fly up.
Yeah,
It's
it's
hilarious.
hilarious.
I remember when I sat in it.
Experience.
I like they put the restraints down, and then I was like literally shitting myself. And I was like looking at them, like following them, going up and down, like putting the restraints on. I was like, "Come on, you need to start doing a bit more." And then they did, but then like my arse still slipped out. Like I had unexpected airtime on
You
the
do.
Revolution.
Why,
do.
don't you?
You literally, I
amazing.
literally thought, "Fucking hell!" Like this
It is a
intense.
weird
We're
experience.
gonna name the
but it is
vlog
so good.
Airtime Angels Get Airtime at Blackpool.
Literally, it's an airtime filled park. That's all I'm gonna say.
I
It is.
heard that and then I went and I was like, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It got some of the best in the UK, absolutely.
Yeah,
Like-
I agree. It's like even on Icon, when you go on the Junior Immelman, you get some like hang time on that.
Oh, God,
Um,
it's lovely.
It's so cool, isn't it? I
Yeah.
just love
So
it.
good.
I had this thing going on Twitter that I don't think Infusion is as bad as people make it out to be.
I don't think it
what
is.
just mean Inferno is worse. I've had worse rides on Inferno.
I don't know what I'm
I
doing
think-
wrong, but when I go on Infusion, I'm like,
I put my head to one side in like the thing, so that if it rattles, it's not going to like go like that. It
people
stays
told me to try that. Sometimes, like, you know, on the Smiler, I kind of like push my head forward and like tense it. And I find like I don't smack my head much on the Smiler because I'm doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I try and do that on Infusion and it doesn't work. I'm like, ah!
I've had a few
Like,
experiences
wow.
like that on Saw though, and I
Yeah.
didn't meet anyone, but I was like proper rattling around, like it was horrible.
Yeah.
Well, for ages I would talk shit about Nemesis, just the original one on Twitter, because me and Kai had last year the worst ride on it in our lives. Like the rest of our day, we had like these horrible headaches, and we were just like, well, that's it. Nemesis was rubbish. And then we went this year and we were like, that was the best ride I've ever had. Like,
Yeah.
I guess it
Yeah.
just depends. Maybe because it was the end of the season last year, it just ran a bit dodgy, but
I feel like I have such an
Yeah.
unpopular opinion, especially like within the theme park community, because I really don't like Nemesis. I appreciate the coaster and the layout of it, and you know the fact that they had to like dig into the ground and stuff to create it. But for me, I just come off that ride and I just have the worst headaches ever. But then I can go on the Smiler multiple times and I'm all right.
me too.
I'm the same though. I like Nemesis and I can appreciate it, but nowhere near my favourite coaster at Towers.
No.
Nowhere near.
Look, you know what we should
I
do for
don't think
next
it even
time?
touches the top 5 for me. Like that may be controversial,
Well,
but
next time we should do like a top 10, our own top 10 lists.
yes.
I think
Yeah.
it would be interesting because I was thinking about this the other day and I was like, well, where would I put everything now? Because for me, Smiler was the number one for ages. But now I'm like, it is Icon. Like, I never used to get it because obviously I hadn't gone. And I was like, well, how can that, you know? And now I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think once we go to Blackpool, I'll be like, I think
a
it
lot
will
of
be
my
in top
favourites are
5.
now at Blackpool, like Revolution.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I
love
think I'll really enjoy the Big Dipper.
Big
The
Dipper.
big one, I absolutely love the big one.
Big one
Oh,
is my favourite coaster.
I
at
did it in
Pleasure
like the hail and it felt like my face was being cut open.
Oh my
It
God.
was incredible.
You know,
And it
Luke
keeps going,
from
I think it's over and it just keeps going and you're like, where is the end?
Luke from Coaster Gen actually mentioned about his experience of being on the big one in the rain and hail.
Oh yeah, I saw that on
Yeah.
Twitter.
Yeah.
And it was painful.
Oh, it's horrible. And then we got evacuated because obviously I didn't realise that they've got the wind things at the top, haven't they?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
hold you there. So we just got held in. They brought out little ponchos.
Yeah.
I made a little tent and I was like, we're gonna sit in here. It was good.
Yeah. Also,
I
quickly,
love
speaking of Luke, check out the Chain Dogs podcast.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
they're
We love
all-
everyone on it. So big congratulations to them as well, as they started a few
Yeah.
weeks ago. And
It's
we
fab.
appreciate the support from them. They are just the most amazing guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Every single
also
one of
just
them
a-
was just lovely and supportive. And
Oh, I
didn't
I'm
tell
so
you that.
thankful for them.
I spoke to Luke yesterday. He's gonna be there on your birth on the Saturday and said in the afternoon about doing a takeover somewhere on a couple of rides because all of his lot will be there. And I was like, funny story.
That's great.
That'd be so cool.
Airtime
That would be
Angels,
fun.
Chain Dogs. Oh, that's going to be so
Airtime
good.
Angels times
Here we
Chain
go.
Dogs.
Keep me out. Wallace and Gromit takeover.
But yeah, just on another note, just thank you everyone for your support
Yeah,
over on
we
Twitter when
really
we
appreciate
announced.
it.
Like I was blown away with the response we had. So just like a
I
huge
was.
Yeah.
thank
I
you.
think we were so nervous starting, it's like putting the account out because we were like, we was just, I don't know why we thought that it was going to be like, no, this isn't going to go well, but it went so well. And the response that we just got was amazing. So we can't thank
Because
everyone
we have
enough.
like this little
Yeah.
group chat with just the 4 of us in, don't we? And like we
Yeah.
were
Yeah.
saying, right, shall we post it on then? And then it's like, no, let's wait until National Roller Coaster Day
Yeah.
to post it. But honestly, throughout like the chat, obviously these girls are just amazing, and I'm just dead excited to do the journey with you all.
Yeah.
But we're just so grateful. Like even in the group chat, like on the Chained Dogs, when they mentioned about us on there, and I was like in the group chat, oh my god, girls, like they
I
said thank
actually
you.
like shed a tear. I was like crying. I was like,
I
oh
went and
my
read,
God.
like
It
I
was
showed
so
my
nice.
sister the other day, and I was like, look, this is the timestamp, and I was like, look,
Yeah.
they say nice things about us.
But
It's
yeah,
great. They're so lovely.
Yeah.
they are so lovely, and I'm just so excited to do this podcast now with you girls. And
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
gonna be so
exciting.
fun.
It's amazing. Yeah.
look into, because obviously there is a way we could get it like on Apple Music. Is it Apple Podcasts and Spotify? Like,
Yeah.
I think that could be a good option.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
know, have it on the
I
go.
just had an idea. You
Oh.
know how we're all together in Blackpool? Are we going to do a live podcast episode from Blackpool?
We should.
We could, yeah.
So
We could do
Wallace and Gromit
and just
reruns.
Gromit POV.
I'll buy GoPro.
That's all of our
just for that.
reactions. Tash's first reaction on Wallace and Gromit.
Kai has a body cam, a little
Oh my
GoPro body cam. So if you want to Wallace and Gromit experience, like saying
That's
that though, if
amazing.
you want another cursed ride, I think you got to do Creepy Cave, River Cave. I'm thinking of Halloween. Right?
Oh,
I
yeah.
love River Cave.
It's just
So messed up.
Yes.
Don't you like nearly like fall or like have to proper hold yourself up? Like, oh my
yeah, I
God.
was warned, and
I
then
love it.
because you're on just a little bench. It's just a bench.
I always get like the person to sit behind me to like hold my back.
Amazing.
No, it's good.
It's
It's
so
very-
funny though, but it's quite creepy though. Does anyone
That's why
else
I
find
said
that?
creepy, because my brain is associated with it being a bit weird. So I'm like, it's a creepy cave.
Isn't it Charlie and the Chocolate Factory on loop?
No, that's Alice in Wonderland.
Oh,
That's Alice in Wonderland.
I knew it was something. Had Charlie and the Chocolate
On
Factory on a
Alice in
really dodgy
Wonderland.
loop.
Oh, well, like I don't know about anyone else, but like to me, it just messes up the whole ride experience because it's supposed to be Alice in Wonderland, but then you have Charlie in the Chocolate Factory playing.
And
As
it's like,
soon
this
as
is
Towers
Charlie,
got
this
rid
is
of
not.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, they were like, we are bootlegging this audio.
It makes no sense.
Oh,
Really
and speaking
funny.
of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, did any of you get to ride it at Alton Towers?
Yes.
And it was
How
amazing.
sick was it?
It was so good. The elevator made the ride.
Loved
It
it.
was
I,
just-
I much prefer that over Gangster Granny.
I think I need to go back there and try. I want to fit through that doggy door. My goal is to crawl through the doggy door in Gangster Granny.
oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I think I could if I had space, but I'm
Yeah.
concerned about getting stuck. But I think I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna crawl through.
You'll be good.
Yeah. We'll help you through if
Just
Yeah.
I got this.
like the queue gets held up and I'm stuck in the door. But I'll give anything a go, so I'll do it.
Yeah.
take one for the team.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, it's not, I'm thinking about it now, I'm visualizing it. It's a very small gap,
It
I
is.
think. Like,
I think it is tiny.
But it's doable.
I'm going in.
Definitely.
But it does mean having to ride Gangster Granny again, so.
I mean, what do you guys think of Gangster Granny?
It's
I
alright.
think it's decent for what it is,
Yeah. I mean,
but
I
it could
feel
be
like
better.
it's not, obviously it's not catered towards our age group,
Yes.
really.
No.
I mean, one New Year's Eve, I did actually watch the series. I think
Yeah, I
it was the BBC
remembered
one on
that,
Netflix,
yeah.
I can't remember. Isn't it quite good though?
It's
I
quite
love
good. It's
that.
sad. I cried at the end actually.
Yeah, but I was like
What was
properly
that?
invested in it.
Yeah.
I
So
love
like I
it.
kind of knew what was going on, you know, when you're going through it and like all the little kind of projections of it all and stuff like that, which I love, to be honest. I think as a kid I would have really enjoyed that, and like the smell pods of the cabbage, I think
Yeah.
it might be. But as an adult now, I'm just like, it's good, but it's not something I'm going to go on every single time I visit Towers.
Especially with it being
Yeah.
like an hour or something. It's
Have you seen the queue times for it this summer? Like 2 hours
It's
almost.
been mad.
Yeah.
Queue
Maybe
times,
like
in general have been pretty nuts, haven't they? Like in Merlin Parks, I check on the apps every day and it's like,
yeah.
Mm.
Maybe
Like
we
something
were
like
just like a
that.
bit disappointed in it because obviously the last few things that we've had at Towers have been thrill rides and been
Mhm.
catered to, you know, our sort of interests.
well,
Mhm.
saying that, I don't know if you've experienced any of the other dungeons like in the UK, but I think the Towers dungeons are some of the best.
That
Yeah.
end scene is
London
scary.
and Alton Towers
boat-
are the
The boat
best.
ride is terrifying.
Yeah.
I
Terrifying.
feel like I have to experience it now
Yeah.
to
Good.
understand the boat ride thing. I'll let you guys know how I get on with it.
It traumatized me the first time. I was like, what is
Oh.
going on?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's scary. It's worse than the one in London.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it
Oh.
is scarier than the London ones, but I don't know if that's on purpose. But I would like to experience the other ones because I want to see what they're all like.
Yeah, I'd maybe we should do
Blackpool
Blackpool
was
Dungeon.
so good.
Blackpool one, yeah.
Black dungeons.
Wait, oh, I would say what time we're getting up on the Friday, but we're all getting up fairly late, aren't we?
Sunday.
Yeah,
could
I'll
do
be
it
bringing
like-
me +1, Harold.
Yeah.
He's in the process of being created at the minute, guys. Can't show you. Yeah. I still need to find some cardboard for him.
Oh no.
Amazing.
That's so funny.
But that's going to be so exciting for
I am
his
really looking forward
birthday.
to it.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
I
It's going to
can't.
be
wait.
so fun because we're all going to stay together, and then it's just going to be.
Lots of fun.
So excited.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to describe it.
Yeah. Let us know if any of you who are watching are going to be in Blackpool that weekend.
Is it the
Mhm.
5th we're going?
3rd to the 5th.
Yeah.
So the 4th we're going to be is the Saturday.
In Pleasure
Yeah.
Beach, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, I just realised. Hang on. Oh, so I'm going Blackpool next week as well. So that means I'll be visiting Blackpool twice in the space of a couple of weeks. So yay!
You can.
2 weeks in a row.
Get that airtime.
Yeah. Get my airtime fix. Is there anything else, Emily, on the list?
I don't think there is. I've covered our list for today, unless anyone can think of anything else. My only other thing is obviously on Twitter there's the thing going around about Topsail Dragster, and it's just really sad to see that.
Yeah,
you know,
it
it's
is
now
very
shut for the rest of the year, and I
Yeah.
don't know what condition the girl is in, but it was just so sad.
Yeah, it's just a reminder to put everything
Yeah.
in a locker. You know, when you go on, the
Yeah.
lockers are there for a
Well, you
reason.
don't actually know if it came off the ride part.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
But
From what
also,
I've heard,
yeah,
it's part of
things
the
are not-
ride.
blimey.
It's like have you seen when, like, I don't know whether any of you are on TikTok, but have you seen like live streams that people do whilst on the smiler, whilst
Yeah,
holding
that
their
really
hands?
annoys me. And it's
It
just
annoys me.
why?
Yeah,
If your
no,
phone
it
falls, you're
annoys
gonna
me.
hurt someone if it doesn't get caught in the net.
Exactly. It's like when they tell you to put loose articles and loose things
They mean it.
in the lockers, they mean it. It's not just like oh, I mean, you can put it in there if you want, but you don't have to. It means to put it in there.
Yeah.
Because people could get seriously injured.
Well, thinking about the Topsail Dragster thing, if you look, like, I think with Stealth, there's no netting either side, is there? So if
No.
something pinged off,
Yeah. That
same
would
with
hurt.
Super, like you go under the launch.
Yeah.
Mm,
So
If
yeah,
something fell down, yeah. I mean, it's
yeah.
not from a height, but you know, it's still past the
Speed.
punch.
Yeah, it's the speed. Yeah, I mean, we all hope that the lady makes a speedy recovery. We hope she's okay. And obviously
Yeah.
it's really, really awful. It's not something that you want to hear or, you know, see or
No.
anything like that. So we're all wishing her the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Definitely.
that's the main thing. I just wanted to just be like,
Yeah.
it's obviously really sad.
Yeah.
And it's no one's fault in that, like
No.
things happen, but
Definitely.
Yeah.
Has anyone else got anything else to
any last minute
say?
things.
I feel like we've covered a lot.
Yeah, we have actually.
Yeah.
Yay! Our first
First
episode!
episode!
Yeah.
Girls! Cheers, guys!
And I mean, next
Cheers.
weekend we could have like a story to talk about, because if you're going Blackpool,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I might be going Chessington, so we can.
Yeah.
I will be at Reading, so
Oh.
I'll let you know if there's any
Yeah.
fun fair rides.
Yeah.
Oh, actually,
Threads.
speaking of fun fair rides, just quickly, I went to a summer social event in Manchester where they had like fairs and stuff like that. It was so good. I mean, to be fair, the amount of money I spent on tokens for rides, you could have amounted up to Blackpool. Don't do the idiotic thing that I do, where I thought that you paid £3 and it meant that you could get on absolutely everything, because it's not. But it was a really fun time. So I'm not sure how long it's on till, but it was really, really fun. And the pirate ship was very intense, like worse than Blade at Alton Towers. And Blade.
love
Oh my god.
Blade appreciation.
Yeah. So yeah, if anyone who's watching this, anyone has any like suggestions, what you want to see in videos, topics, anything like that, especially as we're all like a female kind of podcast as well. So if there's any females watching this and you want to see any specific topics, obviously to do with females in the community, then let us know in the comments below.
Yes.
But yeah, I think that might be it, girls.
Thanks, girls.
Yeah.
So yeah, shall we end it then?
Yeah,
We can end it there.
all good.
Perfect. So, I mean, on behalf of us all, thank you so much for the support. We really, really hope you enjoyed this podcast. We hope to see you next week. And yeah, shall we all say
We'll
bye?
see you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.